Cool. That was a run in F sharp. And so that's pretty much the arrangement that we did on the album. Our songs never arrived at this arrangement the first time. You know, we played it had life in our church and the congregation. You know, when they start singing it, we start feeling what's going to be best.
With anything that we present here today, as well as like the songs that are on the album, is they're how we would do it, or they're suggestions, and everyone that watches this DVD or whatever should actually just take it as a suggestion. Nothing's in stone. It should always be something.
There's a process.
Yeah.
One thing to remember is that you're trying to tailor everything towards the congregation. So you need them to respond to what you're doing. So if you're the worship leader, you're trying to design everything for participation. And if it comes off a little bit like a rock show, then people don't tend to participate. And so our job as the musicians in the worship team is to try and find a way to grab the congregation and bring them with us. So that's why, I guess, a good thing to remember is that's why we change arrangements to suit our church. And our arrangements aren't always going to be perfect for every situation. They were just the ones we came up with for that recording. So,
they tend to change, don't they?
They always tend to change, and I find leading worship in a smaller in a smaller room with a lot less people, with a smaller band, it really pays to design it towards really kind of getting a response from your congregation, and that's pretty much why I guess what we're doing today. So I mean these arrangements aren't just because perhaps we're trying to simplify things. It's more for a smaller congregation or to suit a worship team that has less members or whatever setup that you have.
So if you've got like 50 people in your congregation, would you, that instrumental moment in between, what would you do there? Would you shorten it or?
Oh, yeah. I would shorten it to remove it. I would shorten it, maybe even make it not exist anymore. Yeah. Simply because you want people to be involved the whole time. So if you give people a chance to stand back and watch, especially in a small group environment, then they will.
Yeah.
So if you keep them participating as much as possible, then that's good for the service and that's good for them because they stay engaged, they're singing, they're involved. But as soon as we go into a tangent, which in the right setting can actually be quite reflective and good and really promotes kind of some free worship. But you've got to pick it, I guess. You've got to be able to design it for people to connect with God the best.
Good call. And do you want to just talk us through, just pretty quickly, like maybe what you did on the night and possibly how you could simplify it to make it work in maybe a smaller setting?
Yeah. Pretty involved groove in the beginning of the song, which takes maybe a little bit of... It's challenging on a coordination level. So you can, feel free to simplify this one if need be. But it is such a key to the song, though, so you got to be sure not to, don't take away from the signature feel of this.
Yeah.
So obviously I can play it again, what the intro groove is, and it happens very much in the verse as well. So it's something like this: 1, 2, 3. All right. So what I was thinking could hopefully work simplified from this. The main idea, just make sure it's strong. Okay, so try this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully that will do the job.
You've taken out the toms.
Yeah, so you don't need to think of what limb to throw around the kit. It's pretty awkward playing like this. That's why I sort of changed it around like this. But that can be confusing as well. But it's a great way to play it. But anyway, that happens in the intro and the verse. Chorus is very straightforward, 16 notes on the hi-hat. Make it obviously moving forward and all that sort of stuff. But yeah.
All right, so if Rolf's going to simplify his drum beat, like how would that alter what you're doing, Adzi? Because I can hear some lines that you're doing and, it's a pretty driving song. So what would you change? Would you change anything or?
I guess it depends on the context as well. So if, for instance, Rolf is simplified, he's like, I'm just pretty much plugging straight kind of eighth notes. I do like a line in the intro and the turnarounds. I think I would not do that line if there was, say, for instance, only one guitarist. Just in this setting here, I did it just before.
What was it?
So this was the line, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
So if you just simplify that, you just play the basic notes, eh?
So yeah, this is what that would sound like if I was to just simplify that. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Cool. How would that sound together, just with your groove, just if you play the full groove?
Let's give it a shot. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Cool. Which is pretty much what we play during the verses, yeah.
Well, if you're doing that, then I'll, I guess, play similar to what I'm doing now. I guess the key thing for the song, like the drum pattern intro that you play in the intro, without taking away too much, there's the line, and here's the line by itself with no effects, so no overdrive, no delay. On the bridge pickup of the guitar. Give some time, please.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
sounds maybe a little bit boring by itself. Well, let's add a couple of overdrives and a dotted eighth delay on the DD5. Yeah, hit me with some time.
Yeah.
This is the line. Oh, let's play the line now. Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So to get that delay in time with like the metronome that we're using and what you're playing, I just click it in. The DD5's got a tap tempo function, and I make sure it's clicked in pretty much on the dotted eighth feel. If you didn't have a tap and I was trying to play the line like this.
It's like, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
There.
That's great.
So that's yeah. So
But that's why I mean, you're tapping things in time.
so
but
like if you give me the click,
Yeah.
I can hear the click in my
138,
ears.
yeah.
If you just run it now and give me a click on the hi hats.
Yeah, 1, 2.
What I'll do is I'll put 1, 2, 3, 4 on that, and the delay will sound like this: 1, 2, 3. Hence a delay with a tap tempo. You're a winner. Maybe in the verse, I would just go back to a straight rhythm, like 1, 2, 3, 4. And just in the choruses, play the actual line. I don't think I need to fill it out, especially if the bass just keeping a solid foundation. What would you do? Like, what about you?
In this song, we've kind of just, normally for the albums, there's a bit of organ and then a few synth lines. So what I've done in this song is kind of just stuck to the organ, just right from the top, so it just kind of drives whatever you're doing. And kind of first off in the approach, I think if you just have one keyboard player, you probably want to pull back on the piano sounds for the praise songs because it sounds a bit tinny and it actually doesn't. I think the role of the keyboard player in a smaller setting is to support and kind of just be the present factor under whatever's happening. So I just have a organ with a bit of tremolo on it, and it's pretty just simple, and I just actually don't even use the left hand at all. That's something I would encourage keyboard players as well, is don't go heavy on the left hand because it can kind of just be overkill. And just throw a bit of tremolo in whenever you want. I think the number one thing that you would do, obviously, is just keep the organ just there because it just supports and drives everything. And I actually don't really touch it. I just keep it in the right hand and just drive the whole song.
And it does create a nice foundation underneath.
It's a bit of a layer that everything else can build on, because I think a lot of times piano players just try to overplay and fill in everything. And if you use just a constant sound, it can give everyone else a platform to go off of. Because if you just have the real simple... It's pretty easy to listen to, and it's pretty easy to keep up in the mix over everything else that's going on.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the approach with this song.
What wouldn't you do?
What wouldn't I do? Something like this. I apologize for what I'm going to play, but it's going to sound really bad. This is old school, I've got an upright piano. And witness, that sounds terrible. Especially
for those of you who do play and use that sound, no offense.
And that would be a good time to change. No.
Because what ends up happening is you just overplayed everything that Adzi was doing there on the bass, and kind of the rhythm that everyone else is doing. So it's good if the keyboard players can take an approach of where do I actually fit into the band, as opposed to trying to be the backbone when you don't necessarily need to be.
It's cool when you break it down like that because maybe the overall sound, when you listen back to it, it sounds pretty full. And many people would think I need to play something very full here, but if we're, like right now, we're 5 people. And And all of us are sort of playing fairly simple stuff, but that together becomes something that's strong. And I guess I'm just trusting these people to play the right stuff, so I don't need to overplay, you know. And that, I think that sets up the congregation to easy being able to engage in the song, not having too much music in the way or too little music, you know.
Well, what would you, like, you're playing it, like the song's in F sharp and you got a capo on the 2nd fret.
I like open chords on the acoustic guitar. They just sound better.
Yeah.
So I just play all downstrokes. On some of those changes, I'll kind of change my rhythm up to make it a little more kind of, here I'll play it. I'll just be like, here's my intro. So I just play simple and open chords, pretty much.
Maybe what we'll do, let's run it again. We'll play our simplified parts. And do you want to pull out that instrumental in between, or you want to talk about that?
And shorten that intro too.
Okay.